Hello there, World of Tankers. Welcome to the channel. Hopefully all of you are doing well out there. I'm, of course, your host, Droodel's Blitz, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about a very old Tier 7 Soviet premium tank, the SU-122-44. This vehicle has not really been talked about on YouTube in many, many years. In fact, the last time I remember seeing a video on this was when I didn't even have a YouTube channel, and I was back watching Bushka. So I figured, you know what? In today's video, let's talk about this vehicle. Is it good? Is it bad? Has it changed in the current meta of Blitz? So I'm going to be doing a full-down review on the SU-122-44. Now, if you want to see other reviews on maybe other vehicles that actually are just right on the tech tree, you can see here, they're not tech tree vehicles. Of course, you have to spend gold to get them, but they're always available to you. It's not like they're leaving the store. So you got the SU-122-44, the SU-100Y. The AT-15A is another vehicle that not really a lot of people talk about, and I'd say the biggest one is probably like the Panther M10, the Ag Tiger 8.8. So if you want to see videos specifically on those tanks, please let me know in the comments down below, especially because not a lot of people talk about these much anymore, and if you're wondering if they're good or not. So if you enjoyed today's video, please make sure to smash that subscribe button down below. But without further ado, let's get straight into what's good about this tank and what is bad. So this, of course, as it says in the name, carries a 122mm, and that is pretty dang good. It's got great damage per minute for a tier 7 vehicle at 2767. That means that you're easily going to be punching holes through your enemy, and with 400 damage a shot, that's going to really start hurting when it's only an 8.6 second reload. That's like tier 10 DPM for an IS-4. So it's got great damage per minute for a tier 7 tank destroyer. Now, it's not nearly as good as a vehicle like the SU-152 or the ISU-122S, where this vehicle is sitting at 3,353 DPM, but the aiming time is worse on this vehicle. And not only is the aiming time worse, but it doesn't have the mobility or the frontal armor that the SU is carrying. The SU, as you'll notice, is kind of shaped like the WZ-120, because of course the 120 was actually based off of a Soviet design. Now, the SU-122-44 is also very quick, goes 48 kilometers per hour, very nice. It's got great engine power, has a power to weight ratio of 17.8, so it's got a lot of good things there. The mobility, it goes 45 degrees a second on traverse, so in 2 seconds you're pretty much making a 90-degree turn. Again, it's very nice on the mobility, a lot of things like that. And of course, my opinion, the best thing about this vehicle is the armor. For a tier 7 tank destroyer, usually when you're in like an SU-152, high explosive shells from other 152s can actually penetrate your lower plate. And when you're up against vehicles like the Smasher, when you've got a lot of deadly tier 7 vehicles that will just eradicate you from the battlefield, having a little bit more armor can help you out quite a bit. So the SU-122 actually has a decent armor profile. Now, I can't say up against a Smasher, it still can pen me with heat. It can pen me, I'd say 50% of the time with AP, but at least it's better. But the Annihilators will still probably pen me every single shell. With power creep, of course, the armor has gotten worse. That's one thing to keep in mind. But thankfully, Wargaming is actually going to be buffing this vehicle in the next patch for World of Tanks Blitz. The premium, actually, the premium and the standard shells are going to be going up. So the standard shells are going to be going from 175 standard pen to 190 and being swapped to APCR shells, which is pretty dang nice. That means that the shell velocity is probably going to be a lot better for the standard, which is, I definitely can say, a little bit of an issue because it's not the fastest of shells, but not only is the shell velocity going to get, I think, better for the standard, but the premium pen is going up to like 230, and it's going to be heat, which means that if you're running calibrated, you can get up to like 250 millimeters of pen, which is pretty dang impressive when you think about it. That means that tier 8 frontal armor isn't going to be much of an issue after this patch. So, yeah, something that's very good about the vehicle. Now, you'll notice it's also a very small profile. Like, when you compare this to an SU-152, I'd say it's about 25% smaller, so it's got a way better camouflage rating, and when you pair that with the great mobility this vehicle has, it is really something not to be reckoned with. So here we go, pushing up in the front line. Doesn't look like there's many people here. I personally think that this is just one of the cleanest looking tanks at tier 7. While it may not be the best, I really do love the way it looks, how it drives. It really is a joy to run in the battlefield. But the current issue is just the meta in Blitz at tier 7. Like you can see, double Annihilator, a Leo, Smasher, Type 62 Dragon. It's pretty much just all OP vehicles. But you know what? We're going to get a nice little snap right into the side of this Leo. There you go. Of course, he comes back, but there you go. That frontal armor doing the trick it's supposed to, and that guy's taken out. So we did take a shot where we wanted to right in the tracks, and you could see that the frontal armor did actually work, at least once there. So I can say that it does have decent armor. Now, as I said, against Annihilators, they'll probably pen all their shells on me, same for a Smasher. So you don't really want to rely on the armor, but just the fact of having that fallback just in case something does happen is pretty nice, judging that, an SU-152, I pretty much know that I'm going to be penned when there's a vehicle like that aiming at me. Although it does have a big mantlet, I can say that. This vehicle's mantlet, it's big, but it's not nearly as large as the SU's. So we got the Smasher off to the side. Not sure where the enemy Annihilators are, but, ooh, there is an SU-100. Let's snap that. No. I tried to snap it. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't, but that was, It was worth a shot. So let's see. We got the SU-100 once again trying to cross here. Let's see if we can hit him here. And fire. There you go. Nice shot for 399 hit points on the dot. We got the Annihilator off to the side, and looks like he wants to shoot me, so let's not test my luck there. There's another Annihilator right over here who's going to try and pull out, it looks like. So let's get a nice snap into him, and there you go. That fantastic frontal armor doing the trick it's supposed to, as you can see. Again, bouncing shells left, right, and centered. So I'm going to be backing up, of course, because while I do have that decent frontal armor, it's not really worth it to try and trade shells with an Annihilator, judging that it does have a very beefy gun mounted on the vehicle. But we do have an SU-100Y off to the side here, and let's see if we can get one more pen into the vehicle. Ooh, that was a troll bounce, I can say nonetheless. But let's put on our adrenaline here. Ooh, that guy's not doing too well, I can tell you that. So we got the Annihilator off to the side, the Smasher in the middle. And let's see if we can get a shot into one of the vehicles here. So we got the Annihilator and fire. Yes, 446, a nice roll there. Again, you can see that that gun is really, really nice. It's smooth on the aiming time. It hits a lot of its shells. We got the Annihilator sticking out right out in the open. He fired his shots, and let's go right for that lower plate. Another nice shot for 347 there. And honestly, you can start to see just why this vehicle can be so deadly. Again, aiming in on that Annihilator's lower plate and firing once again. There's another nice roll for 400 there, and we're almost at 3,000 damage for this battle. So honestly, I do like the gun on this tank a lot. Like, it doesn't miss a lot of its shells, you'll see here. Oh, I waited in that one, though. Sometimes you always gotta wait, but you can see that the armor worked. Like, I didn't get penned once. I bounced 3 shells from an Annihilator. I bounced a shot from a Leo, so the first game was a good example of how the frontal armor does work. And it is pretty impressive, you know? It's a Tier 7 Soviet tank destroyer. So, of course, let's load into one more battle, see if we can keep up that good luck streak, or if it's going to run out very, very quickly. Now, one of the biggest issues I can say with the SU isn't the vehicle itself, but it's Tier 7. Look at the battle we're in currently. There are 4 Annihilators, there is a Dracula on my team, and a Smasher on the enemy team. Now, when you think about it, that is hell. It's just the issue with Tier 7 currently is Wargaming has diluted Tier 7 with so many overpowered vehicles, and I don't normally play Tier 7 that much, so it's not the biggest of issues, but I can tell you that playing a tank like the SU, while it is a good vehicle, and, you know, when you get in a decent map like this, where I can state the back of the map, get out a lot of shells, it's not too bad, but when you have to deal with a tank like an Annihilator, and the fact that you only have 1,000 hit points in a vehicle like an SU, means that that Annihilator can pretty much take away 60% of your HP in a matter of 0.66 seconds back up, and then kill you in the next 13. And it's not fun, should I say, for Tier 7. I think Wargaming knows this, that they have ruined Tier 7. And, you know, Tier 8 isn't too bad, because I don't find that Tier 7s ruin Tier 8 because they're easy to kill, but I can 100% say that Tier 6 is pretty much unplayable at the moment with the Annihilators running around. It is just, I tried one Tier 6 battle, and I was like, nope, we're not doing that anymore. So, yeah. That is the only issue I will say with this tank is, honestly, Wargaming has diluted the matchmaker so much with the current tanks. So we got a KV-2 all the way across the map, and the chances of that shell hitting were about 2%, but the fact that it hit, you know what, we're going to blame that, we're going to put that on luck, honestly, because the SU is not an accurate vehicle by any means. Like, it's not very accurate. It's good, but it's not great. Now, you can see the frontal armor there. The SU wasn't spectacular. Again, as I said, it really doesn't bounce a lot of shells. And now, if this one hits too, yeah, I didn't think that would hit. The Smasher, of course. All the tanks I penned except the Smasher. Oh, and the Smasher was able to blind shot my teammate. That is just fantastic for my team. So, yeah, we're going to keep sitting here, though, to be fair. I'm going to keep working this bush like a champ. Watch that Smasher ammo rack me or something. That would be great, wouldn't it? So, let's see. We got the Annihilator off to the side. Come on, just peek your turret up. Do it. You know you want to. He really wants to, but he's not doing it. I'm going to keep sitting here, though. There's no point for me to move up because, as I said, the enemy team still's got a Smasher over there. I'm literally a one-shot for a tank like a Smasher, so not the safest of moves for me personally. That Smasher spotted, and so is the SU, so let's fire a shot at that SU. There you go. Nice tap for 381 into his side again. Not sure why he's doing that, but I'll take all the damage I can get, of course. So we've gotten a couple nice shells at this game. You can see where the gun's good and it's bad. Like the .381 dispersion when you're trying to shoot people on the move is just awful. Like, I can tell you, this is one of the better maps for an SU, but don't get fooled by this gun. It really struggles to hit a couple of its shells. I played about 10 games in the tank today, just testing it out, and oh, I can tell you that the games today were not the most exciting, some of them at least, and that's why I'm complaining about the matchmaker, is that it can be a struggle to try and just do well in the vehicle. Like, I'm still scared to push on a Smasher. That guy, even though he's missing about 500 of his hit points, still has about the same HP as me, so you know, it's always, do I want to risk it? Now, the enemy team is getting quite low, so to be fair, I'm going to start to push up. The Annihilator's getting quite low, and that's, of course, really good for me, because if the Annihilator gets taken out, that's a non-deadly target I got to deal with. So, the main guy I, of course, want to clear is the Smasher, although we do have a Dicker Max right off to the side, and, well, didn't go where I wanted to. That was a better example of the dispersion on this tank. At least on the move, it struggles quite a big time, should I say. So, let's aim in, HE on the guy's lower plate. I'm not sure if that'll pen, but we got a nice bounce at least, so can't complain on my side there. Let's see if we can take out the Sticker Max. There you go. He's taken out of the battlefield, and we've got the Smasher over here left, who, again, is a very deadly target. I don't necessarily want to play with the Smasher. Oh, and it bounces. So that was a great example of how my game can go from being pretty solid to literally a one-shot for the Smasher now. So that was it. That's the issue with this tank, is like, it's not the tank again, it's just the fact that a vehicle like the Smasher just brought what was, and of course my shell bounced. That was the big issue. If it hadn't bounced, you know, it would have been okay, but the fact that it did bounce pretty much made my game kind of pointless now, because I can't push on the guy. He's literally gonna one-shot me. So yeah, not so fun. You can see why I just hate the Smasher at tier 7. I don't know why Wargaming hasn't nerfed it, to be fair. I still can't figure that out, and it's something that annoys me every single day. They have ruined the game at tier 7 because of that. But hopefully our team can get out that shell there. And in fact, because the Annihilator did bounce the shells, let's aim in an HE on the enemy Annihilator. There you go, nice tap, finishing him off. So it is now a 3-2. And again, because I made that bold move and tried to get that shell into the Smasher, we are now still a one-shot. And my team is not doing fantastic, I can tell you that. They're doing okay. But that Sherman is most likely sitting in the back of the map or something like that. I honestly got no clue where the Sherman is sitting. I really want to try and pen a shell onto the Smasher here. If we can get a pen, we'll be good. But we have to get a pen, of course. So the KV-1S, I think, is AFK, so this is just fantastic. So we're going to push off to the side here. I'm not... Ooh, there's the Sherman camping at the back. So now we are even lower on the hit points. How fun. So I'm going to do the thing called flank, because there's no point for me to sit there. There's 2 minutes left on the battle, which is enough time for me to get around. And if I can flank, if my KV-1S just kind of sits there and dies, I honestly couldn't care, because he is AFK. So we're going to push off to the side. That way I can use my decent camo to my advantage. If I'm spotted, I'm going to be so disappointed in my shelf. But yeah, so the Smasher over there, he is detected, which of course is good for me because I know where he's at. But the Sherman Firefly is the main guy I got to clear first of all, because he keeps shooting my team. I've got enough hit points to take a singular standard shell from him, and I think he's at about 450 hit points or something like that. So we should be able to finish him off with a singular HE shell. So we're going to push off to the side here and see if we can finish him off. He's got to be sitting somewhere back here. So we're going to see if we can get him taken out. We've got a minute 30 left, which is still plenty of time to find him. So here we go, pushing through the backside. Oh, the Sherman pushed up. Of course he did. So yeah, the moment alright, I see how it is, Wargaming. So we got to push in extremely quickly now to try and help out my Jackson. He's actually getting some nice shells out, but now this game has been ruined again. So yeah, not much I can do, honestly, to take out the enemy team. We could try and get a shell into the Sherman, but you know what? Ooh, he's detected. This is possible. There's a nice shot right at the butt of him, and that is good for me. So now we've got to try and get the Smasher at least spotted out in the open. We got 57 seconds left, and we're still only 200 health. So I got to be very careful on what I'm doing here. There's the Smasher. He's not looking at me. Let's fire. Beautiful shell in the rear of the Smasher's turret. So it is now a 1-to-1. We're going to push off to this side here, pretend like we're going this way, and then we're going to push up through mid and come around. It's not much else I have to do. So let's see if we can do that. It's got to be very, very tricky shot here, but we've got to make it count. So come on. Yes. Oh, we made it count. We came out with the victory. 6 kills for the team and 3,207 damage. So look at that. Droodle's balanced out the Smasher. So whew, that was not a fun game to play, but you know what? We did it. We came out with a mastery, and that was a good game again to show how strong the SU-122-44 is. The gun does miss the occasional shot, and sometimes, especially the ones like on the Smasher, but we balanced out the Smasher. So hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video. If you want to see more like it, please make sure to smash that subscribe button down below, especially more ones on tank reviews. But other than that, hopefully I'll be doing well out there. Stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.